Hi everyone, this is Jared from The Broken Seal, and today we're going back into an old classic of mine and probably many of yours, Aeon's End. This is a game that we've actually played the legacy version of on the channel, and we enjoyed it. Didn't get a lot of views, so we didn't continue the series for the recording. But the game itself is fun. It's very simple. Well, not simple. It's the design is simple, but the actual gameplay is very detailed and involved. Essentially, you play breach mages who are trying to fight back a what are they called? They're called nameless, despite the fact that they do get names. But so you play a nameless, and you're trying to protect the city of Gravehold, which is one of the last bastions for humanity. Typically, if you're playing with more than one person, each person controls their own mage. And then you also have a unique system where you don't shuffle your deck. So it is a deck builder. You don't shuffle your deck. You actually just, as you discard cards, you can discard them in a certain order. And then you flip over your discard pile into your new draw pile. You do have a variable turn order. So it could be, one round you could have the first player go twice in a row, then the nameless go twice in a row, and then the second player go twice in a row, or it could be 1, 2 nameless, 1, 2 nameless, whatever. It's a fun way to not always be sure what's going to happen. In addition to that, you have these breaches that you open up, which allow you to cast spells. Some mages, so for instance, one of our mages only has 3 breaches that they can open. Our other mage has 4. So, and they also played a little differently, at least at start. As you go through the game, each of them can build the deck however they want. I've randomized the order or our available market cards, so we can't, I don't know, I randomized them. That's all I'm going to say about it. We're also playing on, like a standard difficulty, nothing special. I've played this game a couple of times. It's been about, I'd say at least a year since I played the base game. And on top of that, I only played it maybe 1 or 2 times, enjoyed it, but just didn't get further in it because then we got the legacy version and we played that one. So I did play a refresher game yesterday so that I wouldn't be totally green coming into this one. But nonetheless, I'm going to read some flavor text and then we're going to get on into the gameplay. So our player 1 mage is going to be Phaedroxa, the Breach Mage Seer. Time is a web, like the ones the howling spinner weave in the deeps. Each strand reaches backward and forward at once. What was, what is, what will be. There is no difference in the web. Silk is silk. Time is time. I spoke the sister words before they were taught to me, before I could walk, but after the world was gone. Brahma says that it is because the wraiths of the sisters encircle me beyond their web, but she understands not. There is no host of sister ghosts guiding my path. There is no chorus of voices within me, only my own. I merely seek the web and all trapped in it. I look at the survivors of this city, this beautiful and stark place hidden in the deep shadows. And in the web, I behold Gravehold. As it was and as it will be. I peel aside the door of a breach, and in the web a breach widens. Much like an eye struggling against the dark, I am born and I die. The nameless are much the same. Time is a web, no different, no more. Alright, so that was Phaedroxa. Like I said, she's going to be our first player. I'll give her health. One of the other cool things about this game is that unlike other deck builders where you have a standard starting hand, this game actually has, there are some standard cards like crystals and sparks that every mage gets, but there's also a special card that each mage gets that really like kind of appeals to their gameplay and their playstyle. So Phaedroxa, she gets 1 tourmaline shard, 3 crystals, and 1 spark, and then her starting deck is crystals and sparks. And then she also has an ability, the Auspix Rune, which allows her to prevent any damage that the players or Gravehold would suffer during the turn that she activates it. Our second mage is going to be Aeon, the Breach Mage Orphan. Father died. The orb. I took it in my hands. and then quiet was upon me. Orphan, then the mages. I learned the sisters' words. The spark, but never spoke them. Like Phaedroxa, I see. It changed me. There are many worlds. The nameless are a scourge to all. So war. Once I was born. Soon I will save them. Then become nothing. Everything in between is just waiting. A web. It's all a web. So funny enough, when I picked these, I just picked 2 at random. I just didn't want to play the starter ones that I picked the last time, which I don't even remember why they were starters. But yeah, I didn't know that they were connected like that, so that's cool. So Aeon is our number 2. Each player starts off with 10 health. And then Aeon starts off with a Moonstone Shard. And then she has the Black Mirror ability, or they have the Black Mirror ability. Cast any player's prepped spell without discarding it, then cast that prepped spell again. So really, Aeon is kind of built for doing damage. Especially, like if we can get some of these high-level things out, they could cast it, recast it, especially with the higher open breach mage, or breach, which would allow them to do more damage, or some of the cards, which some of the other relics or spells or gems allow you to cast spells and do more damage. This game we don't have any of those, but at least I don't think so. Yeah, we don't have any of those, but the last, the little prep game that I did, I had a card that allowed you to cast a spell that you just prepped that turn and then do 2 additional damage. So that way, if I got it to a 3rd or 4th breach, I was able to add 3 extra damage, things like that. And then our nameless is Rageborn. This war has waged for aeons now, so long that it is all we know. Our children learn to hold a blade soon after their first words are uttered. With each generation, the joy in their faces and voices diminishes, every instinct sharpened into a single word: survive. Malistar believes the Nameless waited for us to become worthy foes before sending their champion, the one that we call Rageborn. It is their executioner, here to quicken Gravehold's end. Never have I seen such anger, all of it reflected into the dead eyes of the rabid beasts it commands. When the breach is open, the beggars in Chasm Walk above the city bells. The end is near, the end is near. And in my hollow heart I know the truth of it. The end was here since the first Nameless came. We only have prolonged it. So each Rageborn has a special setup. For this one, or Rageborn, each Nameless has a special setup. For this one, for Rageborn, he has a strike deck that we have over there. You shuffle all that together. The strike deck is separate from the main deck that you combine the Rageborn specific abilities and cards with the basic Nameless cards to create the Nameless deck. I'm probably providing too much information for people that are watching this, because I imagine since this game is older, the people watching it are just going to be, tuning in to find out or to see me play for a bit. But in case you are new to this game and don't know what's going on, that's some information for you. This here is going to be Rageborn's health. He starts off with 70. This is Gravehold's health. It starts off at 30. Each of our breach mages have 10 health. And we're going to try and save Gravehold before Rageborn gets too upset and destroys it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started and find out who's first. Phaedroxa. So we've got 4 crystals. Well, 3 crystals in our Tourmaline Shard. I'm not going to use the second ability of the Tourmaline Shard because I don't need it, but it does still give me 1 energy to buy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Should I go for Relic? Should I go for Buying Power? I know next turn I'm going to have 4 crystals, so I think this turn I'm going to get the Focusing Orb. I want to get that early. That's just going to help out. Then I'm going to prep Spark. And that'll be the end of Phaedroxa. So next, our Nemesis is going. So we reveal a card. This is Skewer. Unleash, and any player suffers 3 damage and draws a card. So Unleash for Rageborn means that he gets a Fury token. If he ends his turn and has 4, he strikes. And then lowers his Rage down by 3. Or his Fury, rather, by 3. So this one, we've done the Unleash. And then any player suffers 3 damage and draws a card. I always forget to do this, so I'm just going to apologize now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of the main things I forget to do, especially solo playing this game, is you draw at the end of your turn. I usually don't draw until my turn, which it's not really an issue, but if they ever say to do stuff like this or I can discard a card, I'll remember to do it, but just so that you all know I'm not cheating. I'll give it to Phaedroxa. So she'll take 3 damage. And then draw 1 card. So then we flip this over. And then that's the end of the Nemesis turn. Then it's back to Phaedroxa. So our Open Breach has a spell in it. I can choose to cast that spell or not. I'm going to cast it. Do 1 damage to Rageborn. Dropping him down to 69 health. Though not for long. Prep another Spark. And then I have 5 buying power now because I got to draw an extra card. So I will buy... I'm going to buy the Burning Opal. Because it'll give me 3. And I can discard a card in hand. If I do, any ally draws a card. And since you can put these back in any order that you want, I'm going to make sure that I don't get too many crystals without getting any way to attack. So then I draw up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip over. 5. And we know that Phaedroxa's gone twice, so she's not going to go again this round. I was hoping that Aeon would get to go, but I guess not. So Rageborn strikes. So instead of it having to wait for the Fury to build up, this one just makes the strike automatically happen. So our strike is going to be, the players collectively discard the 2 most expensive prepped spells. This is called Seize. This cave has not long ago collapsed as a Wonder and a Mercy. There's a little flavor text on there, so I was just trying to read it, but it's very small. After you strike, you shuffle. Luckily for me, the most expensive prepped spell was just a Spark. And I didn't have any more to do than that. So now we know that Aeon's going to go twice. See? So we'll prep 2 Sparks. The cool thing about Aeon is their Moonstone Shard. It gives them 1, and then they get an additional 1 that can only be used to gain a gem. So that would be 2, 3, 4 if I were going to buy a gem. Because it's early on, I am going to buy one. So I'm going to get 2 of these. And in terms of discarding, I'm going to discard like that. So that I could potentially get a lot of buying power early on. Aeon again. Their 2 spells go off, bringing them down to 67. Nothing special yet. They get discarded. Alright, so our 2 spells get discarded. Then we've got 3 crystals and 2 more Sparks. With the 3 crystals, I'm going to buy the Spectral Echo. Deal 2 damage, you may destroy a card in hand. That'll be for later. Yeah, keep it like that. Then, because remembering that they draw at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to shuffle. So once all of the turn order cards have been revealed, you shuffle them back up. and then start again. With Phaedroxa. No spells prepped. I am going to use my focusing orb. I could focus any player's breach or destroy Gravehold. Destroy this to gain 3. That'd be horrible if Gravehold got destroyed. I'll focus my breach. My third breach. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. It matters more for them to do damage. I'm going to focus their 4th breach. Because I don't think you have to go in order. I didn't do it yesterday, but I don't remember. There's nothing in the rulebook about it, at least. And I'm not going to go looking for it right now, because it benefits me to be able to say that it was the way I wanted to do it. So I focused their 4th breach. And then I have 4 buying power. With 3 crystals and 1 tourmaline shard. And with that 4... I kind of want to get another focusing orb, because then I can just focus these really quickly. And then use them later to give Gravehold life. So I'm going to do that. No. Yeah. And then I'll discard these. 1, 2. Like that. Draw like that. And we have Aeon. Aeon fires off 2 sparks. Pew pew. And so like I said, I wanted buying power and I got it. So that's 2, 4. The Moonstone Shard would be 5 or 6. So I have between 7 and 8 to buy things. I'm going to buy... So I have between 7 or 8. I'll buy the Clouded Sapphire for 6, which leaves me with 2. Then I'll buy the Flying Dagger. The Clouded Sapphire is good because it gives charges. In terms of order to discard all these, because I don't want having that much buying power to be a thing, I'll discard those. And then, whoops, discard those. Then, like that. Draw up. Then we've got Rageborn. So that is a Bane Sire. It's a minion of Rageborn. Well, it's a base level thing. Their persistent effect is that they unleash, and what that means is when they unleash, Rageborn gets Fury. So basically, each round is going to help Rageborn out. We want to try and get rid of it so that it doesn't continue to make Rageborn stronger, which in turn makes us get into more situations. Bad situations. Of course it is. So first, the persistent effect goes off. Rageborn gains Fury. So now we're at 3, and then we draw another card. This one is Unleash, which means he gets a 4th. And this always comes up when I have it. So if there are 2 Nemesis turn order cards in the turn order discard pile, which there are, unleash 2 additional times. So he gets 2 more Furies. Which means at the end of the turn, we're going to discard 3. And he is going to strike. The strike. Any player suffers 4 damage. Whew. Well, Phaedroxa took the hit before, so Aeon's going to take it now. So Aeon takes 4 damage. The sad thing is that there's no benefit like there was before where Aeon gets to take or draw a card. So this one is Convoke. No other thing in our world of theirs, well, no other thing in our world or theirs has been so violent as this beast. That was a quote from Brahma, which is one of the people you can play as, and also is featured in the story for the Legacy version. I am waiting. I ordered the on Kickstarter. I ordered the Legacy version, the Legacy of Gravehold. So I'm waiting for that to come, and I'm excited about it. But we'll get there. Who's next? Aeon. Aeon has no prep spells. Aeon's going to get a Spectral Echo, a Spark, spend 2 to get a charge to start charging up their special ability. Then you can hold on to cards in your hand. at the end of the turn. So I'm going to hold on to the spark that I had, discard these, end their turn, which means that I get 1, 2, flip over, 3, 4, 5. Phaedroxa also didn't have anything prepped, so that's great. Because I really need to do something to that Bane. Or that, yeah, that Bane Sire. So I have 4. I'm going to buy Ignite. And I'm going to break up all of these. Yeah, I'm just going to break them up. Alright, so we're going to shuffle. Aeon's up first, which is great. Spectral Echo and Spark go off. I'm not going to destroy a card in hand, so it's just going to do 3 damage total. And they are down to 3 health total. The sad part is that I won't be able to do anything. Like, I won't be able to kill them even with Phaedroxa's turn. So I'm going to go prep. Oops. Prep 2 sparks. Then I have the Clouded Sapphire. If it's the first time you played it this turn, an ally gains 1 charge. On top of which, it gives me 3 buying power. That gets me 4. With the 4, I'm going to focus this. And then prep a spark. And end my turn. Nemesis goes. Let me get Aeon's cards. So first, Banesire. He's going to give it some Fury, which really sucks. Then we've got the Bleed Static. It's got power 3, which means that on turns after this, in the beginning, it's going to gain 1 power. Once it gets 3 power, this ability activates. Sometimes the abilities or the powers have ways for you to discard it or end it early. This one doesn't. So at the end of 3 turns, the player with the most prep spells suffers 2 damage for each of their prep spells. So we got to get rid of our prep spells to not take damage. Then at the end of their turn, Rageborn has too much fury and must expel it. And we've got Raise. Gravehold suffers 3 damage. Any player suffers 1 damage. I'm going to have Phaedroxa take the damage because Aeon has less health. Our flavor text for Raise. The fire spread from the old barracks to the south wall in a moment, the ancient stone hissing and turning black as the beast strode through the city. And that was Nerva, a survivor of Gravehold, and of a Rageborn attack. Alright. Think the Nemesis is done? Never drew Phaedroxa's cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spark goes off. Deals 1 damage to Banesire. Then I will prep a Spark. Burning Opal. You may discard a card in your hand. If you do, an ally draws a card. Do I need Aeon to draw a card? I don't. So I'm not going to. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to get the Clouded Sapphire. I'm going to get the Essence Theft. Because we need a way to start healing people. So I'll split these up a bit. And end her turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Phaedroxa, Spark goes off. 1 damage to the Banesire. I'm going to focus this so that I can open Aeon's Breach. Then I'm going to focus Orb again. I will focus my own breach. Then I'm going to pay 1, 2, yeah. And I'm going to discard the other one because I don't need it. I'm going to discard these in this order to start breaking up the focusing orbs. And Phaedrox's turn. Back to the Nemesis. First, the Banesire goes off. We get 1 Fury, and then we have 1 power for the Bleed Static. And then we have the Eye of Nothing. So this is a power that we can get rid of if we spend 6 power total. But power 2, 6 buying, what is it called? It's called Aether. So if we spend 6 Aether, we can get rid of it. Otherwise, in 2 turns, it's going to unleash twice. So that was the Rageborn. Gion's going to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the Spark go off to kill off the Banesire. And then this Spark, which was cast in the 4th breach, does an extra damage, so it does 2 damage. And I'm going to hold on to that one as a just in case. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a Flexing Dagger. The next time I focus or open a breach, it costs 3 less. So I'm going to focus this, which gives it to me for free. Then with my 6 buying or Aether, oh, you know what? I don't want to get greedy, so I'm going to get rid of the Eye of Nothing now. We can't take all those unleashes. And that is Gion. Gion's up first. I'm going to prep I'm not going to cast a Spark. I'm going to prep the Spectral Echo. And another Spark. Then my Moonstone Shard will be 1, 2, 3. Let's see, what do I want to do? I could focus this breach. I could buy a Spectral Echo, another Spectral Echo. So yeah. So here's what I'm going to do. With the Moonstone Shard, I'm going to get 1 Jade. Then with these 2, I'm going to get a charge. And that's Gion's turn. So Nemesis goes. The Bleed Static gains 1 more power. And then we have the Haze Spewer. It has a persistent effect. Gravehold suffers damage equal to the minion's current life. Then the minion suffers 1 damage. Alright. Phaedroxa. So I'm going to prep and ignite. Then my Burning Opal gives me 3. Four, 5. I'm going to use the Burning Opal's effect to discard a card in my hand so that an ally can draw a card. And then I'm going to buy an Essence Theft. And their turn. Phaedroxa goes again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to cast Ignite, which deals 2. Oh, I forgot to put out their health. It had 5, deal 2 damage, goes down to 3. Then an ally gains 1 charge. Gian is almost able to cast their ability. I'm going to prep Essence Theft. And I will... Wish I could open that. I'll focus this. And then prep a Spark. And end my turn. So we've got a Nemesis or Gian. Nemesis. So first, power 3. That goes off. The player with the most... Oh, I forgot about it. The player with the most prep spells suffers 2 damage for each of their prep spells. I would have no way to stop that. So that was my fault. So Gian is going to take 6 damage, and I don't think they can come back. Alright, so Gian becomes exhausted. First things first, they lose all their health. Then they lose all of their charges. They lose all of their prep spells, which is not great. Then they lose a breach. So I'm going to get rid of their first breach. They can still participate, it's just that they can't gain health. And if health were to be taken from them, double that gets taken from Gravehold. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But we unleash twice because of it. Which means it's going to be another strike. So the bleed strike went off, or bleed static went off. That goes away. Then this, it has 3 health, so Gravehold suffers 3. And then it loses 1 health. And then we draw a card. This is the Agony Field. To discard, to discard, destroy a card in hand that costs 2 or more, and then power 2, unleash. Any player discards 3 cards in hand and then draws 1 card. And we're going to have a strike. This is a Frenzy Strike. Let me just get these out of the way. Frenzy, the player with the most open breaches suffers 3 damage. It has to be Phaedroxa. And our flavor text. All great armies have a warrior that is feared above all others. We call theirs Rageborn. And this was by Mist. Another Breach Mage. Alright. Well, it's Gian again. Sadly, Gian got wiped out a bit. So we're going to start off. Gian's going to focus with the Flex Dagger. Or Flexing Dagger. Oh, I didn't realize they had flavor text too. Forged from an unstable void ore, the blade shifts with the Forged from unstable void ore, the blade shifts with the will of its wielder. Then I'll play the Cloud Sapphire, which gives Phaedroxa a charge and gives me 3. I'll prep 2 sparks and then do all that. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. With that 6, I'm going to buy a Chaos Arc. Now let's see if Phaedroxa can heal herself before the Nemesis goes. cannot. This deals 2 damage to Gravehold. 1 damage to itself. That gains 1 power. Then we've got the Provoker. The persistent effect is that Gravehold suffers damage equal to the number of Fury tokens that Rageborn has. So we're going to try and get rid of that. But is it our choice? It is. Finally. Alright, so 1 spark goes off to kill the Haze server. Spewer. Then, let me actually draw my hand. Like I said, don't mean to do it. Just constantly forget. Yeah, then I'm going to do the Essence Theft. This is all still during my cast spells. So this deals 3 damage. It's down to 2 health. And I can discard a card in hand. If I do, a player gains 1. I'm going to discard a Tourmaline Shard so that Phaedroxa can gain 1 health. Then, with the rest of my turn, Focus Orb to open this. Focus Orb to rotate that. 2 crystals for 1 charge. And that's my turn. Aeon goes. Aeon didn't draw her cards either. Their cards. So with the 2 health that the Provoker has, I'm going to cast my Spark that was in my 4th breach to kill it. And I'll hold on to the other Spark that I have. Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 normal crystals and 1 Moonstone Shard, which could give me, or 6 from my normal crystals. The Moonstone Shard could give me 7 or 8. I'm going to spend 3 to open this. Then I'm going to get an Ignite. Actually, I was going to break those up, but I want to get that Chaos Arc at some point. Alright, so that's Aeon. It's Aeon again. There are also some spells that give you benefits while they're prepped and you don't cast them. I really wish I had one of those now. Alright, so I will prep. Actually, I'm going to cast the Spark to deal 1 damage. Then I will prep, prep, prep. And with the 2 that I have left, get a charge. Phaedroxa doesn't have anything prepped. I'm going to prep an Essence Theft and a Spark. Then Burning Opal for 3. 1 crystal, 2 crystals. So that gives me 5 total. I'm going to spend 2 to get a charge. And then with my 3, I'm going to get a Spectral Echo. So I can start getting rid of cards in my hand. That's Phaedroxa, Nemesis. Never did that, did I? All right, so first we unleash. Then any player discards 3 cards in hand and then draws 1. I'll do it to Phaedroxa. Discard 3 crystals, draw 1 card. So that is gone. The Agony field has unleashed. And we've got the Woven Sky. To discard 3 cards in hand, and power 2, unleash, any player suffers 4 damage. I knew it. Nemesis. And unleash. Gravehold suffers 3 damage. So he's getting close to being able to strike again, and Gravehold has dropped below 20 health. But it's okay. We've got ways to help Gravehold out. I knew it was going to be twice. Oh, I knew it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, sadly, there was no way that I could stop that power from going off. Just a bad luck of the draw. The Woven Sky spreads out its tendrils. I don't know what it is. And first, Rageborn unleashes. Then, any player suffers 4 damage. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I forgot. I almost gave up. I'm going to activate Phaedroxa's charge, the Auspix Rune, so that that players or Gravehold would suffer no damage this turn. So it deals 4 damage to Phaedroxa, no damage. Get rid of that. Then we have the Lay Waste. It unleashes twice. Any player suffers 2 damage, but because of Phaedroxa's ability, there's no damage. Then at the end of the turn, get rid of 3. And we strike. Seize. The player collectively discard the 2 most expensive prepped spells. Damn it. I needed that essence theft. Alright, well. There we go. The flavor text on here. Oh, we already have that. Or we already did that. Flavor text. Only going to read it the first time. Yeah. Phaedroxa, who can't heal herself, but does at least live to fight another day. I'm going to prep my Essence Theft again. Prep and Ignite. And I'll hold on to my Spark because I can't do anything with it. Phaedroxa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes you just get turns like this, or rounds like this, where Nemesis, Nemesis, Phaedroxa, Phaedroxa, Gian, Gian. So, Essence Theft goes off, deals 3 damage. We got him below 60. And discard a card. Any player gains 1 health. Discard that. Now Phaedroxa's at 5. And I'll cast Ignite as well to deal 2 damage. And give 1 ally a charge. I was going to say I should give it to Phaedroxa, but it's an ally, not anyone. Then I'll prep Spark. Oh, I forgot. The Essence Theft was in the 4th breach, so it got 4. Instead of just 3. Got a +1. Then I'll focus. Focus. And not going to hold on. I'll play the crystal. I just don't want to hold on to it. And then we know it's Gian's turn. There it is. Gian has 2 sparks. I'm going to cast the one that does 2 damage. Then I'm going to prep a Chaos Arc. Destroy my Flexing Dagger because everything's already been focused and opened. So it'll deal 1 damage. I'll put it off to the side, which puts Rageborn at 52. Then Clouded Sapphire gives 1 ally a charge. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Could spend 2. I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend 2 charges. Or I'm going to spend 4 to get 2 charges. And then with the last 2 that I have, I'll buy a Jade. Why not? I know it technically bogs down my deck more, but at a certain point I'm going to start getting rid of cards. So, and I know it's going to be Aeon again. Aeon. I'm going to hold on to the Chaos Arc. I'm going to prep a Spark. Then I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to get an Essence Theft. And let's hope that I shuffle better this time. All right, not going to do that Spark. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need Phaedroxa to get some Spectral. Oh, there we go. Spectral Echo. And then I'll do a Burning Opal, discard this so that Aeon can get an extra card. So that they have 6 cards in their hand. That's 3, 4, 5. Let's see. If I hadn't discarded, I could have bought the Chaos Arc. But Phaedroxa doesn't have a lot of spells like that, so I don't think Chaos Arc. I should save that for Aeon. So I'm going to get the Essence Theft. And then end Phaedroxa's turn. It's Aeon's turn. So now, with Aeon, I'm going to do the Chaos Arc. So it's 3 damage. Deal 2 additional damage for each prep spell and an adjacent breach. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then +1 because of the breach. So it's 8 total. Then, because what I should have done was activated her ability. Oh, you know what? That's only during the main phase. So let's just say I didn't cast it in her casting phase, or in their casting phase. Move to the main phase, activate their ability. 8 damage for the first cast, then cast it again and discard it to do another 8 damage. Bringing Rageborn down to 46. And I will prep a Spectral Echo. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 2 charges. And end their turn while looking up if I can buy charges for other people. You cannot. So for Aeon, I'm going to hold on to these 2 cards. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Nemesis goes. We've got Scorn. Their persistent effect is that Gravehold suffers 3 damage, or you unleash twice. It's got 9 health. I'm going to remember to put health on her now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a Nemesis. Nemesis again. I'm going to do Gravehold suffers 3 damage. Then we draw a card. We've got the Venomite. The persistent effect is the player with the lowest life suffers 2 damage, or any player discards a prepped spell that costs 3 or more. At least we know that they're done. Oh, they have 9 health as well. So the Nemesis is done. 5, 6, 7. Oops. 8, 9. And Phaedrox is up. So for Phaedroxa, I'm going to do a Spectral Echo. It'll deal 3 damage because it was in my breach here. And my Spark, so it deals a total of 5 damage. I'm going to get rid of the Venom, or I'm going to deal 5 damage to the Venomite. And I'm going to destroy a card because of the Spectral Echo. I'm going to get rid of a crystal. Then prep an Essence Theft. And 1, 2, I'll prep this other one. With that 2, I'm going to get a charge. Gian, I will have Gian deal, so that's 3 damage for the Spectral Echo to get rid of 3 health. And then I'll do a low-level Spark to that one to get rid of that. I think I did that right. For some reason, I feel like the Spectral Echo should have killed that off, the Venomite, but I don't have any way to confirm that. But the Spectral Echo does let me destroy a card. I'm going to get rid of a low-level Spark. I'll put it on this side. And I'm going to prep an Ignite and a Spark. Then Clouded Sapphire, an ally gains 1 charge. Jade, that gives me 5 total. Spend 4 to give myself some power. I guess I could have bought an Essence Theft, but I like what I did better. Because I could use it right now, actually. No. So John's first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And oh, that's too much buying power. Alright. So I could deal at most 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. That won't be enough to kill the Scorn. Actually, I could deal 8 damage total. No. So I'm going to use Gion's ability, the Black Mirror. I'm going to assume that if I cast Phaedroxa's Essence Theft to use the second ability to discard a card in hand to gain 1 life, I'm going to assume it has to be Gion's card. And that's how I'm going to play it for right now. So, Black Mirror. Oh wait, I have to do that at... I keep forgetting that. That's in the main phase. So, let's hold off for that. I could do 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So Ignite's going to go off. Spark's going to go off. That's going to deal 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Just move this. No. And with the Ignite, an ally gains 1 charge. Then I'm going to cast this one. No, I need that there. Then, main phase, activate Black Mirror to cast Essence Theft the first time. So it deals actually 4 damage because of the thing. So 4 damage to Scorn. Actually, no, now I should have done. Okay. I'm going to cast this Spark to deal 2 damage. Then, Gion's ability, Essence Theft, deals 4 damage to that, kills it. I'll discard a Moonstone Shard to let Phaedroxa get another health. Cast it again for 4 damage to Rageborn. Bring them down to 42. Discarding a card so that Phaedroxa gains another health. Got to keep her alive. And then discarding Essence Theft. Then, on Gion's turn, 2, 4, 5. I'm going to get 2 charges. And their turn. Next turn is the Nemesis. I'm glad I got rid of all that stuff. So this is the Cauterizer. When damage is dealt to this minion, reduce that damage to 1. And the persistent effect, any player suffers damage equal to this minion's current life. So I gotta get rid of that quickly. Of course it does. Persistent effect, any player suffers damage equal to the minion's current health. So Phaedroxa loses 3. Then we're gonna draw another card. Unleash twice and Gravehold suffers 3 damage, or place the most recently discarded minion card in the Nemesis discard pile back into play. I'm going to take the top part. So it would get 2, bringing it up to 5, then it has to get rid of 3, so it goes down to 2. Just going to, instead of putting tokens on and off. Gravehold suffers 3 damage. And we have a strike. The player with the most open breaches suffers 3 damage. They're tied, but I don't want to bring Phaedroxa down. If I take it to Gion, then Gravehold suffers 6 damage. I'm going to do that. So Gravehold is down to 7 health. It's not looking great, but I have faith in us. At least we know the Nemesis is done. Phaedroxa. I'm going to use this Spark. Deal 1 damage to it, so it's down to 2 health. Prep Essence Theft. Prep Ignite. Destroy the Focusing Orb to give Gravehold 3 health. And so that's destroyed. And then 2 Aether to gain a final charge. Phaedroxa again. Focusing Orb is going to get destroyed to give Gravehold 3 more health. You know what? I did skip things a little bit, so I'm still going to do that. Don't get me wrong, but I have to cast first. I'm going to use Ignite. I'll deal 1 damage to this, but an ally gains 1 charge. Then I'll do the Essence Theft to Rageborn directly to deal 4 damage to him. So he's down to 38. I will discard Crystal to gain another health. Then destroy the Focusing Orb. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll get another Essence Theft. And it should be Aeon. Yeah. So Aeon goes, no prep spells. That was what I was afraid of. So I'll get Chaos Arc and Essence Theft. Then 2 to get a full charge. I'll play the third one just so I can get rid of it. Now, do I want to do this now? No, I think I should wait till I get another spell here. I do realize that I'm gambling because if the Cauterizer goes off, it won't kill me or anything like that, but it could be 2 turns again of the Nemesis. Alright, Phaedroxa, or Aeon. Is Aeon going to cast a spell? No. So I'm going to hold off on that. Then I will prep a Spark. Then use Aeon's ability. I'm going to have Chaos Arc go off. First time, it'll be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring him down to 30. Then second time, 8 again. Bring him down to 22. Then this gets discarded. Then I'm going to prep a Spectral Echo. Play the Clouded Sapphire. They can't gain a charge, but that's fine. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gives me... Should I buy another Chaos Arc, though? Yeah. All right. So now we got a little cushion again. Phaedroxa has 5 health and a full charge. So I don't have to worry too much about what happens on their turn. I'll do the Essence Theft, Spectral Echo, Spark. I wish I could give people, like I want to give Aeon these 2. I'm going to play them and then get rid of them. And that's the end of Phaedroxa. Phaedroxa again. Spark goes off. 1 damage to Cauterizer. To kill that, let me draw my hand actually. Spectral Echo will deal 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. Bringing them down to 19. I may destroy a card in hand. Gonna destroy the Tourmaline chart. Then the Essence Theft goes off. It deals 4 damage. Bring him down to 15. And I can discard a card in hand to gain 1 health. Discard a crystal. Then I'm going to prep my 3 spells. Essence Theft, Ignite, Spark. Nemesis goes. We have the Needle Maul. The persistent effect is that Gravehold suffers 2 damage. It's got 11 health. I probably won't concern myself with that. Gravehold, or Rageborn only has 11 health left, or 15 health left, and I can bring him down. Aeon goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, Spectral Echo to deal 3 damage to Rageborn. Then for the Spectral Echo, I'm going to destroy my Moonstone Shard. Then the Essence Theft goes off, deals 3 plus 1, so 4, bring him down to 8. And I can discard a card. I'm not going to discard a card, actually. I don't think I need it. And why not? Spark goes off, bring him down to 7. At this point, 1 actually does do something, like 1 damage. Prep, prep, prep. Keep this in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. And Nemesis turn. Gravehold suffers 2 damage. And unleash twice. Means there's going to be a strike. You know what? Just to be safe, I'm going to activate Phaedrox's ability. It would have been immediately after a turn order card is withdrawn. That's my fault. Realizing that Rageborn has 7, just would have been smarter. We bump him back up to 13. So I am going to take a mulligan on that. Unleash twice. The player with the most prep spells discards their most expensive prep spells. They're tied. I'm going to do with Gian. Then that goes away. Draw, strike. Any player suffers 4 damage. There's no damage being dealt. And that is the end of the turn. Also, just something to note, when you're recording and worrying about all that, you have to not only worry about all the electrical and equipment and all that crap that you have, but you have to worry about vocalizing what you're doing and everything else going on for the video. So the smarter move would have been to do the Auspix Rune. If I weren't recording, I wouldn't have done it because I didn't do it as soon as I flipped over the reveal. But, you know, it's just easy for things to slip your mind when you're recording these things because there's so much other stuff going on. So I say that to hopefully protect myself from the ire of the internet fans who make it this far into the video, because as of recording time, we're an hour and 15 minutes in. I know I took a couple breaks to read stuff, but I don't know how much of that'll be in. Great, doesn't matter anyway. Gravehold suffers 2 damage. And we've got the Invoke Carnage. To discard, spend 7. And power 2, unleash. Any player suffers 1 damage. That player suffers 1 additional damage for each Fury token that Rageborn has. Nemesis. Nope. Alright. Wouldn't that have been something? I'll cast my Sparks, so that's 2. And then 1 for a total of 3. Bring him down to 4. And with all these crystals that I have, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll be 2, 4, 6. Actually, I guess I could have spent 7. That's a power 2. I'm gonna do that. So that I don't get screwed over like I did last time. All right, and then we win. So 3 damage. And this would make it 4, which is all he has left. And then it would be another 3 and another 1. We've won. We've saved Gravehold, and we live to tell the story and live to see another day. So yeah, like I said, I really like Aeon's End. It's fun getting to do the deck building mechanics. There are very few things about the game that annoy me, so that's one of the reasons why I like it. I wish that there was ways, like, you know, once you have buying power but don't really need to buy anymore, I wish there were things that you could do with it. Like, all my breaches are opened, I already have a full charge. The buying power, the Aether, is just kind of sitting there at that point. And it'd be really nice. I mean, I understand the mechanics of it. You're a mage, you channel Aether into yourself. So it wouldn't make sense to channel Aether into another unless you had a relic or a special ability or something like that. But it'd be nice if I could like help out a teammate, maybe at like half the cost or something, or double the cost. Like if I had 4, I could give Gian 1 charge, something like that. But nonetheless, this is a very fun game. For me, in terms of, I haven't done a full review on this game, but just like throwing this out there. For me, Aeon's End is a 4 out of 5. It's a very fun game. I like playing it with, I've never played it with more than 2 people. I feel like it's kind of made for 2 people with the option of 3 or 4. And then also a solo experience, which just mimics the 2-player experience. But I like playing it with 2 people more than solo. The 2-player experience, you get to, you know, communicate, work out things, and there's more of a feeling of like we did it. Whereas in the solo experience, yeah, I have 2 mages and all that, but you know, it's just me. I'm just bouncing back and forth between trying to keep Phaedraxa's playstyle and then Gian's playstyle, and making sure I don't dilute it too much by, you know, giving Gian a whole bunch of crystals that they're not going to do anything with because they're supposed to be doing damage, versus getting Phaedraxa a whole bunch of spells, which they're really supposed to be supporting Gian and the group in general. So, nonetheless, that's Aeon's End. I'll probably do at least one more video with Aeon's End just because I want to play it and maybe y'all will watch it. But if you do enjoy it and you want to see more Aeon's End, let me know and I'll make some more videos for it. But that's all for now. You can check our description for more information about the game, as well as some information about our Ko-fi account if you want to support us. And you can leave a like, comment, or subscribe if you enjoyed this video, especially if you made it all the way to the end, because it's a long thing that I will have to watch because I have to edit it. Until next time, bye.